My husband's betrayal unlocked a secret fortune. Epic revenge story. The day I sold my house, the weight of the world should have lifted. Instead, it was the day my life detonated. Jake, the man I poured my heart and savings into, greeted the news not with celebration, but with a chilling confession. He was having an affair, planned to marry his mistress, and expected me to pack my bags and bunk with his parents. My blood ran cold. A hollow laugh escaped my lips, born of disbelief and a dawning horror. "Are you crazy?" he sneered. But I cut him off. "You forgot something," I hissed, watching the color drain from his face. The power shift in that moment was intoxicating. Sold my house. When I told him the good news, he surprised him by revealing he was having an affair and said he was getting married soon and I should move out. I started laughing. He asked if I was crazy, and I told him you forgot something. His face went pale. "I have a new girlfriend and I am moving in with her. I'm getting a divorce and you need to move back to your parents' place." "I don't understand what you're saying. I don't need you anymore. If you want to be a breadwinner or a housekeeper, you can stay with my parents." That's what Jake said. And then my in-laws, those horrible people, started laughing. "This is better for me, so you all need to leave," I thundered. "My name is Julian. I'm 35 years old and work in an office. I spent my whole life working hard. After college, I started at a big company and worked there for 13 years, earning promotions. And now at a young age, I am a department manager. My work life is great, but my personal life was a festering wound. When I was a student, I had a boyfriend, but not after I started working. Concerned about me, a friend threw a dinner party, and that's where I met Jay. He was kind, had a great smile, and was easy to talk to. Since we were the same age, we had a lot in common and enjoyed each other's company. We became friends, exchanged contact information. Eventually, Jake told me he had feelings for me, and we began dating. We got along really well. Jake proposed and we got married. I was thrilled to marry the man I loved. Shortly after, I visited his parents. They were very welcoming and kind. "Julian, it's wonderful to meet you. We're so proud of our son for finding such a good partner." "Mom and Dad, stop it," he would say. "If you really feel that way, you can say it. Yes, it's a compliment, so it's fine." Jake's parents were very friendly and easy to talk to, just like him. "Julian works for a big company." "Oh, that's great. It's impressive to see a woman who works hard. Are you going to quit your job after you get married?" "No, I plan to keep working." "Well, you have a good job at a good company." "That's great." I felt relieved. I had heard from friends that their mother-in-laws often told them to quit their jobs because it was a wife's role to support her husband. So I was happy to see that my future mother-in-law was supportive. After meeting my parents, we got married. I was thrilled about starting our new life together. My husband moved into the house I was living in, and we began our life as newlyweds. I was very happy to be with him all the time and to come home to him after work. One day, my husband told me he wanted to talk about something. "If you don't mind, I'd like us to live with my parents." "What do you mean live together?" "Yes, I understand how you feel," he continued. "My parents are about the same age, and my brother and his wife live with them, so I don't have to worry. However, does this mean we'll be living with your parents?" "Yes, that's right. But do they have a room for us?" "They use every room for various things." "Well, if you're open to it, I think it would be a good idea to renovate my parents' house and turn it into a two-family home." "Two families?" "Yes, if we do that, it will be much cheaper than buying a new house. We can have a nice spacious place while still keeping our privacy." "I think that's a great idea. My in-laws are kind, and having separate spaces will make things less stressful." "Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. My parents will be thrilled." I was happy to see how pleased my husband was. When my in-laws visited us later, they were very thankful. With such a kind and cheerful family, I felt like managing two households wouldn't be so bad. Soon after, my husband and I talked about remodeling his parents' house. The cost would be about $200,000. During our discussion, my husband made a surprising request. "Actually, I have a favor to ask. Could you cover the cost of the remodeling?" "What do you mean?" "A full amount?" "Yes." My husband looked very uncomfortable. "Actually, we're in debt." I was shocked. Neither he nor his parents had mentioned this when we were dating or when we got married. "How much debt do they have?" "About $250,000. I thought it would be a few tens of thousands, but I'm stunned by the amount. I ended up shouting in surprise. It wasn't just a small issue. Even if I wanted to help pay it off, it felt impossible. "My parents are living on a pension." "I see," I said, trying to hide my shock and frustration. I had no idea my in-laws were in such financial trouble. "Julian, I need a favor. Could you help me pay off my parents' debt? They can't manage it anymore, and my salary isn't enough either. Then is it going to be hard to renovate the house and live together as two families?" "No, it's important. So let's go ahead with the plan. You've asked me to cover the cost of the remodeling and your parents' debt. That's $250,000. I know it's a lot to ask, but I want to build a life with you and take care of my parents. I love both of you. I'm sorry if this seems greedy, but if you really love me, please help. I promise to pay you back little by little." I was very upset. My husband and his parents had no one else to turn to but me. I knew he loved me, But I felt misled. It felt like love had blinded me. I'll pay for it, I agreed, sealing my fate. My husband said thank you so much and shook my hand. He told his parents, who later came to our house to apologize. My mother-in-law even cried tears of joy. I was determined to take on my in-law's debt. Although I had some savings, I was worried about paying it all at once, so I decided to pay $60,000 up front and the rest in installments. We all got together to discuss the repayment plan. I explained my plan for installments. Why don't you transfer the money directly to the debt repayment account? We're not very good at handling money, and I'm worried about transferring a large amount. My husband said, my in-laws agree. It would be complicated for me to transfer the money to their account and then for them to move it to the repayment account. Since it was a large amount, I didn't want it to get lost. Once we settled the details, my in-laws looked very relieved. Now we don't have to worry about the monthly debt collection. It's been really scary. Dad and Mom, you should thank Julian properly. Words can't express how grateful we are. Thank you so much. We're so glad Julian is our daughter-in-law. No, I said. I was happy that my in-laws were relieved, but I felt a bit uncomfortable. I worried that they might see me just as a source of money. Despite this, I wanted to support my husband's family. With that in mind, I started making the payments and we remodeled the house to create a two-family home. We moved into our new spacious home. My in-laws were very happy and my husband was thrilled with our new place. I enjoyed cooking in the new kitchen and was glad we did the remodeling. It was more convenient and closer to work. I worked hard every day to pay off the debt. However, something troubled me. My husband did not help with the debt payments at all, even though he had promised to help. He never contributed from his paycheck. When I asked him about it, I asked to see his pay stubs to understand his earnings, but he refused. So I had no idea how much he was making. I worked hard for about a year to pay off the debt. One day my in-laws asked how much was left to repay. It's been a year, so you haven't paid off much yet. Well, we've paid back about $60,000 this year. My in-laws were shocked. You paid back that much? Julian, that's incredible. At this rate, you'll finish paying off the loan in about 5 years if you keep working hard. I'm hopeful we can pay it off. Thank you so much, my in-laws said, crying with happiness. A few days later, I ran into an unexpected situation. I had to work late, so I told my husband I'd be home late. However, the work went smoothly and we finished on time. I rushed home planning to make dinner for Jake. When I opened the front door, I noticed my in-laws' shoes. Oh my in-laws are here, I thought. I walked toward the living room and heard them talking with my husband. You made a smart choice marrying that woman, didn't you? You did well. I can't believe you got a woman with that much money. When I found out she works for a big company, I made sure to win her over. Said my mother-in-law, you should be more grateful. My husband replied, oh you're part of the reason we're in debt, my in-laws said. But I would the least. What's my husband responded? What are you talking about? How much did you spend on horse racing? I win a jackpot once in a while, but at this rate we'll be able to get out of debt and be back on track. That's great. I got a really good wife. Well, I'm going to dump her after she pays off the debt, my husband said. And then my husband and in-laws laughed. I was so shocked that I couldn't move from the front door for a while. After I calmed down a bit, I announced I'm home. When I went into the living room, my in-laws and husband greeted me with smiles. Oh, Julian, welcome home. Great job. We're heading back to our room now. Let's have dinner together soon. Their gentle smiles felt frightening after hearing their earlier conversation. I was going to see my husband pretending to be a good husband with a smile question why I've been working so hard to pay off their debt. Didn't you say you had to work late today? Yes, but I finished early, so I came home to cook dinner. I tried my best to stay calm until dinner so my husband wouldn't suspect anything. Later, when my husband was taking a bath, I stayed in my room and cried alone. I cried so hard that it made me want to get back at my husband and in-laws. From that point on, I acted quickly. I began preparing for a divorce and made plans for what to do afterwards. About 5 months passed. I pretended to be happy and told my husband that I had paid off my in-laws' debt. My husband's eyes widened. You paid off the debt? That's $150,000. It was supposed to take about 5 years. Actually, I had quite a bit saved up. I was hesitant to use it all at once, so I started paying a little from my salary and savings. But since we were already under $100,000, I thought it would be better to clear the debt all at once. I see, he said. Do you mind if I show you? I asked, presenting the bank book. Oh, it's true, he said. My husband tried to hide his excitement. Well, Jewel, thank you. My parents are going to be thrilled, he said. He put his hands on his face pretending to cry. Shortly after, my in-laws came over to thank me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I have Jewel. She's truly a blessing. If I hadn't known the truth, I would have been happy to hear their thanks. But knowing what they were really like, I only acted nice because I was preparing for my plan. A few days later, my husband asked to speak with me. He looked very serious. What's going on? I asked. I'm sorry, Julian, but you need to leave me. What do you mean? I asked. acting surprised on purpose. I have a new girlfriend. I'm moving in with her. You'll have to go live with my parents. I was shocked by Jake's sudden announcement. I had anticipated he would leave me once the debt was paid, as I overheard their conversation. But I didn't expect him to be so upfront about his infidelity. What do you mean send me to his parents' place? I asked. I don't really understand what you mean, I said. My husband's mood turned sour. You're not getting it at all. I don't need you anymore. But if you want to stay as a housekeeper or breadwinner, I can keep you here. Just then, the front door opened and my in-laws came in. Jake, did you finally tell her? Yeah, I told her. I wish I could have seen her reaction. If you agree to do the chores for us, you can come live at our house. My in-laws and husband laughed at me. I felt like they were the worst people ever. All of you need to leave, I said. My in-laws rolled their eyes. What are you talking about? Have you forgotten? I can easily pay for the renovation myself. You changed the name of the house to mine, so I have the rights to decide who lives here and who doesn't. My in-laws turned pale when they remembered the house title. I was utterly dumbfounded. I'm sorry, but you can't live here anymore. If we get divorced, we'll be strangers, I said. My in-laws began to understand the seriousness of the situation, but my husband interjected. You're the one who lost money. If we didn't have a debt, we could have afforded a new place to live. That's true. Thank you for letting us live in a nice house while you paid off our debts. My in-laws and husband said. I'm sorry, but I didn't pay off the remaining $180,000 debt. What? No, but there was money missing from your bank book. That was just a separate account I set up to move money around. I haven't had the collections come yet because I've been paying large amounts consistently. But now the bills will come, so you're responsible for paying the rest. My husband and in-laws were stunned. I then warned them. Jake, you confessed to having an affair, so you will need to pay. I'll also charge your partner for the affair. She's with me because she thought I had money in the house. If I have to pay alimony, she'll leave me. I don't care about that. Please don't leave us. My husband begged. My husband was scared of losing his lover, and my in-laws were scared of losing me. They were truly selfish. I have nothing to do with you people anymore, no matter what you say. I've also put this house on the market. You'll be responsible for paying the $120,000 that I covered on your behalf through my lawyer. My in-laws were stunned, realizing they were losing everything, as well as a lemon from his affair partner. The renovated house sold for about $400,000. It was in a great location, and a family was looking for a duplex spot at a good price. I had to cover $320,000. However, I ended up with $80,000 profit from the sale. Additionally, I received the alimony from my ex-husband and his affair partner, which greatly improved my financial situation. I also got $120,000 on my ex-in-laws. Overall, I came out ahead. I felt this was fair because the damage I endured was significant enough to make me distrustful of others. I initially had savings from learning how to invest with the goal of paying off my in-laws' debts quickly. With substantial savings to start, I invested tens of thousands of dollars. Additionally, I received a raise at work. Thanks to my savings and investments, I was able to take these drastic steps. My former in-laws ended up back in debt and lost their house. People who cheat others should face the consequences. This experience brought me to be more cautious and develop better judgment about people. Now, with a comfortable retirement on the horizon, I want to create happy memories with people I can truly trust. By taking courses and reading books on investing and personal finance, this helped me make informed decisions about where to invest my money. Over time, I diversified my investments across various asset classes like stocks. Additionally, I seized the opportunities to advance my career. I pursued extra training and certifications in my field, which led to a significant promotion and raise. I remained focused on my long-term goals, eliminating financial stress. I also wanted to be able to help loved ones if needed. This vision kept me motivated and disciplined. Eventually, my efforts paid off. I bought a beautiful home and a great neighborhood, traveled to places I had always dreamed of, and built strong relationships with friends and family who genuinely cared about me. These connections brought me joy and fulfillment. Looking back, I realized that the challenges I faced with my ex-husband and in-laws taught me valuable lessons. They pushed me to become more self-reliant and financially savvy and helped me understand the importance of surrounding myself with trustworthy and supportive people. In conclusion, I turned a difficult situation into an opportunity for growth. By focusing on my financial health and personal development, I created a better future for myself. I hope my story inspires others to take control of their lives and make positive changes. So, Reddit, knowing everything I've told you, do you think I handled this situation correctly? Was I justified in my actions? Or did I go too far in seeking revenge? I'm genuinely curious to hear your opinions and any advice you might have based on my experience. Your insights could be invaluable as I move forward and navigate future relationships.